Think really hard. Think really hard, and it works. Okay, here we go. It's a Friday night show with Hafeman Bro and a black screen for the other bro and Rick and not Mo but Bruce. Sorry, I wanted to keep rhyming there. That's why I wanted to say Mo there. But Bruce is awesome too. Fresh from Jamaica. Bruce, how's it going?
It's going well.
You
I'm
said you
upset
were
that I'm
you said you
upset that
weren't
I'm still.
coming back.
Well, believe
What
me, I
happened?
was tempted. I was tempted to not come back. I can tell you that. But
Came back to
I came
sunny.
back just for Hapin Bros.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah,
You could get us there though if you wanted to stay in Jamaica. You could have
that's
found.
true. I could do that.
We could have done it. Rick's here too. Rick, you look like you went to Jamaica. Look how tan Rick looks. What the heck happened?
Mm.
I was outside painting all day yesterday,
Oh my
and it was
goodness.
sunny here. So
Did it snow the day before?
yeah, and then it was about 40 degrees and raining today. So it's Minnesota spring. By next
That's
week, it'll probably be 90.
So you're telling me I was in Jamaica for almost a week and you were out for a day and you're tanner than I
Yeah, superior genetics. What can I say, Bruce?
am.
Oh, we're gonna learn so many incredible things tonight. I feel it. I have great information. I'm gonna educate you guys. I'm gonna educate the faithful Hafer Bros. I'm gonna educate the people who don't even know that they care yet. They're gonna care after they find out that I have uncovered the secret to the Green Bay Packers draft strategy, and I have all of the answers for all the perplexing picks they've made over the years. And it's a little window, a little peek like this, little peek into what is going to happen on Thursday night and this coming weekend when the Packers continue on this trend of draft strategy. So that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. Ben has a story. He's mad. Computer story. Computers sometimes make people mad, and Ben is no exception. Ekis, how you doing? Bernard, how you doing, man? Good to talk to you. Bernard says the Saints fans are still crying over the NFC title game versus the Rams. Well, Bernard, that was pretty blatantly horrible. What happened there? I mean, that was worse than what happened to us last year. That was pretty bad. I'd be crying if I was a Saints fan still. Holy crap, Butter's here. Butter. Butter your bread. Butter your toast. Toast to you, Butter. I got to pour my beer in there. Tonight I'm going with Hop House Hidden Stash. Hop House Brewing out of Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Kind of like right by Fitchburg and Verona. I'm not sure. Technically, I guess it's Fitchburg. But there it is, Hop House. Rick, you ever had a Hop House? Probably not.
I don't think so,
You have
but
one in like your backyard, but
that's true. But tonight, got something from Bad Weather, St.
whoa.
Paul Brewery, going the other way with a low ABV British mild because I'm old and tired.
There
I
you
gotta
go.
keep my edge so I can keep up with your sharp wit.
Mine's 7.2. Paley Ailey. Because I need a jump, a kick. That's what I need tonight. Because I found out that the more I drink, the more sense I make. Anybody else feel like that? Butter,
Uh,
how you doing tonight? Butter just says, "Hey guys." Bernard thinks we might trade back. You guys, what are you guys thinking about this draft? You think I'm feeling the more I see stuff, I'm feeling too like the Packers are gonna. It's gonna be this built up thing. It's either gonna be a big move up to get somebody, or they're gonna keep us in all excited, and then we'll get back to their pick, and then they trade out of the first round again, and then we'll be
I
pissed that we spent all that time looking at it.
I think they got a bunch of picks. They're not going to trade it away. I think there's a fair bit of value in the late first round, early second round. So, you know, I think they're going to probably disappoint us with their pick by doing something that's like we've seen past years. That isn't going to be a clear signal if they're playing for the future or playing for now. So, it wouldn't surprise me if they take a wide receiver this year, miss their shot at a good offensive lineman, maybe take a linebacker in the second round, and then be left trying to figure out who we're going to line up on the offensive line after this. But we can talk more about that later.
offensive line is sparse.
It is.
And Bruce, I don't know what your thoughts are. We'll get your thoughts in a second. But last week, I went through like what we know the Packers are likely to have on their roster, or almost insured to have, and by my estimation, they need to draft 4 starters out of this year's draft. I don't know if Bruce, you got a chance to watch last week's show, or if you're just getting caught up, still in Jamaica state of mind, so you just abandoned us for a couple weeks. That's fine. But just to get you caught up, is I feel like the Packers needed to get 2 offensive linemen that can play until Bakhtiari gets back, and then they can have Bakhtiari step in, because I really don't want to see Billy Turner out there. And I also feel like they need to draft a defensive end-ish guy, unless they switch Z to full-time D end and take him out of the outside linebacker role and just say, hey, you're a D end, gain a couple of pounds, put your hand on the ground and play D end. And then they need to get another linebacker. But and then they need a defensive starter as well at the corner, not Kevin King. So I think they need those 4 draft picks: cornerback, D end or outside linebacker, if they switch to Zarius, which I have a quick story on that, and 2 offensive linemen. If they draft that, I don't care what else they draft. I really don't care. My quick story about Za'Darius is he had a tweet this week who said, I'm really a defensive end, not an outside linebacker. Who do I need to get a hold of to make that change official? And I tweeted him back, and I tweeted him directly from Hafeman Bros. And I said, if you want to be a full-time defensive end, you got to play the run better, Z. And then I said, we know you can do it. Just put your mind to it. So I gave him a little corny at the end, to kind of soften the blow of my initial statement, which was pretty strong, but true. Okay, Bruce, on to you.
Especially in the NFC title game, Z. How about that?
All right, Bruce, who do you want? What do you think the Packers need to do?
I agree with you on the offensive line side of things. Definitely. I have a guy that I like that I can talk about later.
Okay.
And then as far as I agree with you on cornerback, not quarterback.
Yeah, we don't need another one of those.
Almost a slip there, but yeah, cornerback.
If they go quarterback again in the first round, I'll blow my top. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
I honestly, at 29, you'd think that they would trade back and get another pick. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but Gutekunst hasn't done that. So I don't think it's going to happen. I think either we're going to stay put or we're going to move up again, because he's proven that. Hasn't he done that the last 3 drafts, right? Last 2 for sure. But didn't he do it the last 3? Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, well, they've done a lot of moving around for sure. Sometimes it was back a couple picks,
Well, I know, but then we moved up again. So
right,
I mean,
right.
You got. They didn't move up for Gary, right?
They just sat there for that one.
They sat there for Gary. They moved up for Alexander, and then they moved up for. Didn't they move up for King, or did they just take him?
No, that Bruce. You really want me to get pissed again? How many times have I said it on this show? That was the damn year that T.J. Watt was staring him right in the face.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
They were like, "Oh no, we'll just let the Steelers have him. We'll trade out of this pick, and we'll get
that's what it was.
As our first pick of the draft."
Glad you reminded me of that.
We're still paying for that one. We are paying. If we had T.J. Watt on this deep, okay, continue on, Bruce.
Well, lineman, cornerback, inside linebacker. We've been talking about that for a year now. So absolutely, that needs to be looked at, whether there's going to be anybody there or not. I don't know. Defensive end, I don't necessarily agree with you on that, but at the same time, I understand why you picked it, because
I don't mean early. Just to clarify,
no, I know
early. That's a guy they just. I mean, if you can find a guy like 4th, 5th round who's a good player, who could be on the field, who's better than the guys you got, that's all I mean. Like, Kingsley Keke. Give me Kingsley Keke again. Stick somebody out there like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I hear what you're saying. I'm more on the defensive line side. On that, on the other side of the draft there. So I personally, I would go offensive tackle number 1, cornerback number 2, defensive line number 3, and then inside linebacker number 4. That's just me.
Okay. Well, I think the Packers need to put a priority on a starting center / guard. I don't think they're going to have a good enough tackle by their pick unless they move up. So I would be more apt to find one of those tackles that's solid that might be later in the draft, and see if you bring him into camp, you train him up a bit, and I bet he's better than Billy Turner already. So put him on the damn field. Put Runyon at right tackle and him at left tackle, or Runyon at left tackle and him at right tackle. I don't care. Or make Mercedes gain 30 pounds and he plays left tackle. I don't care. But not Billy Turner. And I don't think like Ben and I talked about this leading up, and Ben had a great point. He's like, get the best player at his position, or one of the top 2 or 3 guys at his position. So you got a starter. So I want to see a center or guard. I want Quinn Miners. Yeah, hell yeah, I want Quinn Miners, because I think he can play guard or center. And if he's not ready for center yet, you play him at guard and then have Patrick play center. That's fine. And I think that's got to be priority. But I want to see their first pick be a corner. I don't want one of those little corners either. I don't want a little fast 180-pound guy. No. I want a guy who's good, like dynamic corner that's clearly going to come into camp, beat the hell out of Kevin King, not physically, but like show him up so bad that they're like, okay, Kevin King, we made a mistake again, but you get to be on the team, but you don't get to play. So Caleb Farley, one of these other dudes that's dynamic, awesome, and get him. So move around. 10 picks. We don't need 10 draft picks, right? We need 4 starters, and we need a couple other guys that can participate and be contributors. But we don't need 10 draft picks for this team. Rick, you think they go Bateman?
Wait a second. Did you say that I had a good point? Is that what you said?
I've said that plenty of times. Look at you. Whoa. Did you get your computer to work?
Yes, this is my new computer.
Oh.
Check out. Oh, it's over here. Check out my new. Wow. I think we got to change. We need to change the title of our show.
Okay.
To Hafeman Brothers Packer Opinions.
Oh.
Because that's pretty much what we do, is just talk all the time. We don't really have stats. We don't really do what I mean? We're not like a lot of the other ones. We pretty much just say whatever we think, and then they do whatever they want, which is the opposite of what we think. So we should probably change our name to this. I think we should change, and we'd get more views. Because if people are looking for Packer opinions, then they would come to the Hafeman Bros and guests, obviously. Huh? What do you think?
That's fine. I was never married to any certain naming. You were too lazy to have any input, so I just had to come up with some crap, and I was like, hey, sounds good to me.
Well, I just changed the name. What do you guys think? What do you think, Bruce and Rick? Is that a good change? Did I spell it right? I'm not a good speller. I don't even know.
Ben, I think you look like you're in HD right now. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean,
I can't see myself.
Yeah.
How's that for the letters? HBPO? Maybe it could be the HBPO network or station HBPO. Damn, you're onto something.
Yeah.
All right, we got it.
Is that bad or good? That's bad, isn't it? Well, that's my new computer. I guess I have a better camera than Jesse had. Don't tell her. She's sitting right next to me. She's probably going to be mad. Are you mad? Okay. She helped me figure this out. Thank God she helped me get this thing going.
All right, let's go to Rick for Bateman, because I heard people talk about Bateman, and I really don't want to see a wide receiver in the first round. Please.
So this is one of those picks where I think they're going to do something that's marginally stupid, right? Wide receiver is not an area of high need right now, but this could be the compliment to go with Jordan Love, where, oh yeah, they're getting Aaron Rodgers' help, but really this is the guy that, like you were saying last week, is going to be drafting the receiver for Jordan Love going forward. It's not the worst pick they could make. I think he's a decent receiver. He's not real big, but he plays a little bigger than he is. He's used to playing in the cold, at least. I hope that he's not there so that they have to go with someone on the defensive side of the ball or offensive line. But it really wouldn't surprise me if he's still there when they have their pick in the first round. If he's still sitting there at 29, I would not be surprised to see them take Bateman if he's there. So
I really wouldn't
But
like it.
think about it. It would help them ease Devontae out of town after this year. They've got someone in, so they're not bringing in a rookie to try to replace him. I think it's their setup cop out sort of move, but I would much prefer to see them go for a big monster offensive tackle.
You don't want like a awesome corner and then Quinn Miners or somebody, or that well, of course
You're really gonna go Quinn Miners in the first round, Jason?
No,
no,
we can't
but
do that.
second round, and I want him to move around and get him in the second round. But or him or one of those other guys, like one of the really good centers, or one of the. It doesn't have to be a tackle because I just don't think they're gonna have a good enough. I don't think the tackle is going to be good enough. The one they would pick. It's going to be another Brian Balaga, or it's going to be another some blah blah first round tackle that we just pick because we pick a tackle. So I want them to do their homework on the tackle they pick. It doesn't have to be an early pick. I want them to get here. But I will say this. Let's be honest, guys. If the Packers, if their first round pick actually plays and gets a chance to be on the field this year and have an impact, it'll be an improvement, right? It'll be at least something we can kind of get behind a little bit. So they can't really go wrong unless they pick another running back or quarterback as their first pick.
Or a tight end.
Well, yeah, tight end would be really
or
bad.
a defensive pass rusher.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, edge would be really bad. Okay, so they can go wrong. Stop it, Ben. Damn it. Don't give me all these scenarios where they're going to just make me lose.
Without getting things completely derailed, can we go back to the defensive end thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I totally agree that I think you guys had talked about it a bit last week. The Smiths are not true outside linebackers, right? I mean, they're playing like defensive ends. They just need to line them up, and especially Preston. Why are they dropping him into coverage? He's not a linebacker. Z is not a linebacker. So, just accept it and either just go with 3 down linemen plus those 2 guys who are basically playing a 5-man front, or find a couple of big fatty tackles, Snacks, Kenny, and just put those 2 guys, put them down, let them be the ends, and then put some fast linebackers behind them. And this is where the Ty Summers fan club can come into effect. You get Ty back there behind those guys. Maybe in the first round, if one of these guys slip, or they would trade up in the second round, get a linebacker like this Davis guy out of Kentucky, someone who's got speed, someone who's got some instincts. They don't need another raw guy who doesn't have instincts. But I think, especially with Barry coming in, we don't know what the defensive identity is going to be for the Packers under Joe Barry. But if he's going to be attacking, they need linebackers that are going to be able to attack. They need speed. They need instinct. So it really wouldn't surprise me if they keep their new coordinator happy. First 2 rounds are going for a linebacker who's going to be able to cover some ground, especially in the middle. So
you gotta let me share. You gotta let me share some video.
All right, share some video because I got some other stuff too. But
well, we're talking linebackers, so here's the guy that we need to go get. They need to trade up.
I don't want a linebacker. We got Ty Summers.
Listen, we'll have Ty Summers and we'll have this guy.
Okay.
You letting me share?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. I was too mad.
Well, stop being mad and start letting me share.
All right.
And we can still talk. I just want everybody to watch this. You know what? I got to put my glasses on so I can see what the heck's going on. All right, here we go.
All right, your green light here. Green light, Ben.
Ooh, I got to sit back a little bit. All right, you ready? They're never going to do this, but they need to trade up to about somewhere in the teens. Maybe they'll have to give up a first-round pick next year. But if they want to win this year, this is the guy they need to get. And I got to just say a big promo to Just Bombs Productions. If anybody wants to look up some good highlight videos of different prospects, I always go to Just Bombs Productions, look at their makeups of their different players. And then that lets me if I like what I see, then I go look at more stuff after that. But this guy, whoever Just Bombs Productions is on YouTube, does a really good job of putting stuff together and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just got to get a promo because I'm using his video. So I don't want to be like just showing video and then have not given the guy his love. But I'm just going to show you. This is the guy. Jeremiah Wusakora Moa, whatever the hell his name is. Some guy like that. He's supposed to go in the teams. There's a lot of teams that like him. He's 6'1", 215. He's super small for a linebacker, okay? But he's about the size of Darius Leonard. All right? His weakness is getting off blocks, obviously. He's small, but he's super fast. He can cover. He hits like a madman. And he also, when he goes for tackles, always, at least what I'm seeing, he always tries to strip the ball. So what you're going to see on this video, I'm going to just let it play. And you're going to see hard hitter, goes after the ball, good in coverage, makes tackles behind the line of scrimmage, picks off the ball. He does all kinds of awesome stuff. And he's not the size of Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is going to be gone in the first 10 picks. We're never going to be able to get up that high. But maybe we could pull off getting up in the teens somewhere and getting this guy. So here, watch this video. There's no sound, is there?
No, I heard Parsons could be kind of a trouble guy too.
All right, so here, watch this. Just smack, hit him, good tackler, doesn't mess around, solid guy, right?
And his head was on the right side. Head
well,
was
he
on
does
the
a lot of
correct
that.
side.
Look at that.
Ooh.
That's what I'm talking about. And that wasn't a helmet to helmet. When you see it in the slow down, you can see it's all shoulder. Watch. All shoulder.
He used the correct shoulder too. Head was on the right side.
Now watch this. Now watch, when you watch the slow-mo, it's not a drop pass. It's a catch and a strip on the tackle. Watch it from the next angle. Watch this. Strip on the tackle. That's the first time. He does it again here. Strip on the tackle. Same thing. And he looks bigger than 215. Like, look at his body. He looks bigger. He's not. Look at that. Every time it's always swatting at the ball because he's fast enough that he knows he can get there. He doesn't have to reach.
Packers could use some guys that force turnovers. We haven't had many.
But this guy is, I think what he could be is he's kind of what Owen Burks is supposed to be, right? We drafted Owen Burks to be this fast coverage linebacker who was supposed to hit hard, right? Who used to play safety. This guy did play safety in high school. And now he plays linebacker in college here. And he's at Notre Dame, so he's got to be smart somewhat, right? Here's another one. Watch him hit this quarterback. Whee!
Jeez.
This guy, he flies around. He uses his body. He hits hard. He don't care. He takes dudes out. And now watch this. He just takes the ball away. And he scores a damn touchdown. He just takes the ball from ETN, who's a running back, is supposed to be one of the top 3 running backs in the draft. He just takes it and scores. Look at that. See ya. I'll take it. Thanks for that. You don't think that would be helpful? Well, okay, now watch this play. This is awesome. He goes in motion with the receiver in motion, and he reads that the tight end's coming out, and he breaks off. Look, he breaks off and covers the tight end. See how he went in motion with the receiver and then changed because he read that the tight end was going to be wide open, and he covered the tight end. That's smart. This guy's smart, fast, hits hard, goes for the ball. Here's a sack. Boom. Boom. Now, I usually don't like trading up. But if this guy is in the teens and we could somehow get up there, this is a game-changing player who can do things that most guys can't do. Another one. Another ball away from the guy. He's got the ball. Now he don't have the ball. Why? Because the dude smacks him. That's my guy. If we ever have to trade up, if you want to trade up, this is the guy we got to get. This guy will make the defense. Look how fast he is. Good God. What do you think, guys? What do you think?
All right, I'm sold. If guys are going to make impactful plays, we don't have many people that make impactful plays. So, yeah.
I mean, this is his highlight film. So, I mean, let's face it.
I get it, but dude, he's showing a lot of ability. And the other thing I told you is every one of these tackles, he's got his head on the right side. That means he also has good technique. He knows what he's doing.
Now, that time he kind of used his arm and got there early, but hey.
I think as long as they don't have to give up an obscene amount to trade up that high, go for it.
They can do it. They can do it.
Look at that.
They have
he just runs right past all the blockers to get in there to make the tackle on that play.
Sure, they have 10 picks, but if a team's going to want like 3 first-round picks or something to trade up to get up to 10 or 11,
No, that's not going to happen. They're not going to want that.
No, well,
I mean, no team's going to ask for that much. They could package. I mean, I don't care if they got to give up a first for next year, but they could probably package some of the picks from this year and get it done. Move up, 10 slots or 15 slots if they got to do it. But okay, like I said before,
That's a linebacker I'd trade up for.
There's a lot of things the Packers can do that would be where they're not going to necessarily be making a bad pick. So let's hope they do one of those things. There's only a couple things they can do that would be a bad pick. Something like that. If you want a linebacker, okay. And you know what? If that guy and Ty Summers are on the field at the same time, holy crap. That would be a lot of speed and a lot of ground coverage guys on the field at the same time. That would be pretty awesome. That would be a huge change from what we've had forever.
Well, you could put Ty Summers on the tight end side and have him be more off the ball, kind of in, on the slot side where the slot receiver is. So he could still cover a slot receiver if need be, because he showed it on here. And then also attack the line of scrimmage and go for, running plays and stuff like that. The only problem is he's small. If the offensive lineman gets his hands on him, he doesn't get off the block. So he's got to outrun the offensive lineman, or he's in trouble.
That's what you got Z. That's what you got Z for, and all those double teams that he gets. So he'll take care of those.
All right, whatever.
Blockers. Z Bruce, he's got all those double teams. He'd take all the blockers up.
Yeah. Z would take all the double teams. Yeah. I'll tell you what. There's nobody on the Packers team right now that can tackle like that.
No.
I mean,
I'm seeing not Leroy Butler, but like Nick Collins. Remember Nick Collins to do stuff? I mean, he's a safety, I know, but it's like, I don't know. I wanted to trade up. This would be a good move. If they would trade up, this would be the only guy I wanted to trade up for. I don't want him to trade up for anybody else. I mean, even the other thing, I'll say this, Eckes really wants Micah Parsons, right? That's the guy he keeps talking about. Some of the things I heard was, they say that Micah Parsons sometimes takes the wrong gap. Like he doesn't read the ball. The one thing I noticed about this guy, his eyes are always on the ball. Whether it's in the backfield, whether it's in the air, whether it's in the receiver's hands, wherever it is, he's going for the ball all the time. And that's the key to the defense. I mean, when the Packers won the Super Bowl in 96 and in 2010, it was turnovers. The defense was causing turnovers, getting the ball back for Rodgers to go make, or Favre or whoever to go make more plays, right? And that's the thing that's different about Micah Parsons. The other thing, I saw a couple film on Micah Parsons too, where he would go straight in there and he kind of do this Darius Smith. His eyes are like set on the running back, and then the running back wouldn't even have the ball. Like he'd go and he'd like get up to him and he's like, oh crap. And then he realized that the ball's over here and it's too late. So he's fast and big, but he's reading it wrong. Where this guy actually keeps his eyes on where the ball is. I don't know if he's just got better vision or what the crap it is. I don't know. Or he's just smarter. I don't know. But I mean, the guy who goes to Notre Dame, you got to be smart to go to Notre Dame from what I know. But I don't know. It's probably a fairy tale. We'll never trade up to get this guy. He'll be gone way before we can get him.
No, get us excited. Believe in it, Ben. It can happen. It can happen.
What else you got?
He looks good. Okay, we got some other thoughts here in the chat. I'm trying to find his score here, his RAS score, because the RAS score is the ultimate Packer determiner of who they're going to draft. Yes, because what I found out was somehow. Well,
then they're going to draft Quinn Miners because he's got a really high RAS score.
He's got a massive RAS score, but somehow back in the day, the one and only Kevin King had this blown away the RAS score, and he was awesome. He was like the top cornerback RAS score that year, CB RAS score that year. Here he is, and I think this is Bombs Away too, or what's his name?
What's the RAS score? Is this their speed, jumping, whatever thing that Goody likes?
Relative
athletic score based on their position. So this is like they take the average, kind of things for the height, weight, different skills, different, strength and whatever, all that stuff put together. And then it's basically their percentage off of that. So Kevin King blew away the RAS score test somehow, even though his bench was pathetic. But look at him. He had He had a 9.94 RAS score.
He doesn't play at a 4.4 speed.
No, I'm like, how did he run that fast? How does he get beat by receivers so bad and can't catch up to him if he ran a 4.4 in the 40 for his draft stuff? But the thing is, the Packers, and this is why they drafted him. This is why they were like, TJ Watt, nah, we can get this guy because look how good he's got the talent. The Packers believe that all they need to get are guys with talent, and even if they're raw, they have other issues, they will mold them into being superstars. Rather than taking guys that are polished, awesome football players. They weigh this RAS score really heavily. Andy Herman's, I'm going to give him some credit. He did this Pack a Day podcast earlier this week or late last week where he talked about this. And he talked about how the Packers they go for elite positions, and Ben mentioned that. In that same one, they do that for their first pick oftentimes, like 13 out of the last 16 years or something. It's been like one of these primary positions. And he mentioned how the Packers have only drafted a handful of guys in the last decade plus that have RAS scores under 8, which there are another number of teams. I looked it up who had guys across the board. You look at their whole draft class, they had a number of guys that were under 8 for their RAS score, but that's because they were good football players. The Packers have almost nobody that has under 8. And if you got a guy that's like 9 point something or 9.9 something or 10, they get all giggly and woo, and they're just losing their mind. Like, we got to have that guy. We got to have that guy. Elite talent is what they're going for here. And that's what they thought Kevin King was. Just happened to be that he's not particularly good at things cornerbacks need to do or football. So his RAS score did not translate. But that's what they went with. That's the reason. Don't ask me why they signed him back after they saw him for 4 years, but that's why they drafted him.
Yeah.
There are other RAS scores that I wanted to show, and I got a couple of them pulled up here. And since we're talking linebackers, let's take a look at a couple of RAS scores. All right.
All right.
Some linebackers, because there's one guy. If I can catch him here, got to get him. Packers. Oh yeah. So there are these number of linebackers with RAS scores that have been pretty high. Highly touted guys in the last couple of years. So let's take a look at some of those dudes. We got some guys this year. We got Micah Parsons. Here's his RAS score, right? 9.59. Got a bunch of good measurables. His bench was kind of sad for a guy that big and supposedly that strong. Vertical wasn't that great. His agility, good. Not a great grade. His shuttle was not very good. Stuff like that. The Packers take a look at that stuff a lot. They really weigh this relative athletic score heavily in terms of making decisions on drafting. Okay, Kenneth Murray. This was his. So he's a draft, first round guy. Everyone was high on him last year. Dreams the Packers might actually get him. No. 9.88 in the RAS score. First round pick. And a lot of really good stuff. Speed grade, elite. Size was good. Explosion grade, elite. Stuff like that. Okay. And then Patrick Queen. Here's the answer why the Packers did not draft Patrick Queen last year.
Yep.
That's his relative athletic score. 7.98. There's your answer. Now, I do want to take a look, since we looked at those linebackers, and see if I can find another linebacker who had a very good RAS score. One Mr. Ty Summers, who had a 9.71 RAS score and ended up being a 7th round draft steal by the Green Bay Packers. Now, you saw other guys who are like first round picks, surefire first round. Kenneth Murray, right? Surefire first round. Micah Parsons. Look at Ty Summers' athletic ability.
This is the thing that I think is important for us to talk about.
Yeah.
Is I think RAS score for a player in the bottom, like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round is valuable. But RAS score in the 1st, 2nd round is dumb. Just take a player that you know is good. You know what I mean? Like, is a solid, smart, not solid, but like smart. I mean, I'm not saying Razcore, if he's got like a terrible score, don't take him. But in the case of like Patrick Queen or whoever, who was a 7-point whatever, right? Who produced on the field in a big conference in college, that's very valuable. But what the Packers do is they take guys like Kevin King, like Rashawn Gary, these kind of guys and Kenny Clark, who have these high RAS scores, but they really didn't produce in college or didn't make the big plays in college. And then when they translate that to the pros, it takes a year or two or whatever for them to develop and become something. And that's fine if you're drafting a guy like that in the late rounds. But if you draft a guy like that in the first round or second round, you're not getting value for 2-3 years. Hit Rashawn Gary. He's got to have a high one.
Yeah, he was off the charts. He was super high too.
Right. So and that's the kind of thing, and that's fine. But when you look at his numbers, his sack numbers and his tackling numbers and stuff like that, they didn't come near a lot of other pass rushers in that draft. And that just explains how they spend too much time worrying about athletic stuff in the top, pretty much the whole draft, instead of just looking at a player and saying, hey, this guy's good and he can make plays and he sees the field and he knows what's going on. And that's something I wish that they would change a little bit,
They think they can coach them up, get these superior athletes and they're going to coach them up to be good football players. Just one quick note for Rick before he goes here. Tony Manwich was a 10.0,
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say, I mean, at the collegiate level, you can probably get away with making up for a lack of instinct by being a superior athlete. If you're fast enough or big enough, you can recover. You can be a step late on, adjusting to a route or running backs cut, whatever. But when you get to the NFL, where everybody's big and fast and strong, just being big and fast and strong isn't enough to offset not having that first step, not having that nose for the ball, not having just an ingrained football instinct that, some of the really stand apart linebackers, safeties, like talking about Woodson and the impact he had for the Packers. The guy was a ball hawk. He was in the right place at the right time. And it seems like Owasu Kora Moa, this guy from Notre Dame, looks like he has those sort of instincts. Right. I mean, the speed is great, but if you're not going the right way, it doesn't help you. You can't always teach someone to be a football player. And I think that's where certainly the Packers have been burned by it, but they're not the only ones. So, I mean, a lot of teams get blinded by speed or size, and it just often doesn't translate into making the impact on the field. So that's all I got.
Rick, you know that one too well. Is that why you brought it up?
Darius Haywood Bay.
Oh, no. Poor Raiders, Raider fans. Look, I want to say something to Bernard. Look, I wasn't hating on King. I'm just pointing out that's why the Packers were so high on him. That's why they drafted him, because he blew the RAS score away. And they're like, here's this guy who scored great on this relative athletic thing, and it just means they're going to a superior athlete, which means we can teach him how to be a better corner with his superior athleticism. But you can't in the NFL. The margin is so slim that guys with instincts matter. Guys with vision and anticipation matter. That's the step. That's the thing that gives you the advantage because everyone's so similar, right? So if you don't have the awareness, like we talked about, we've shown videos with Z and stuff, and just lack of awareness at times. He's an incredible athlete. I don't know what his RAS score was. I didn't look it up. But Zadarius Smith, for his size, he's an incredible specimen and athlete. He's strong. He's big. He's fast. But he lacks in other intangibles that you need to be a really good football player or a really well-rounded football player. And I'm hoping that he comes around this year and gets back more into 19 form. But the point is, like we said, it's important. Later rounds, yes, give me these crazy athletes who maybe turn into super studs. Awesome. But early rounds, give me good football players. I don't care what the RAS score is.
So, quick Google search. I don't know if this will come across or not. Zadarius Smith, 3.75 according to.
Wow.
This.
Is that legit?
But we didn't draft him though either.
No.
Goody was high.
What was his weight there in college?
274.
What was this?
Bench 23. His
That's
40-yard
about-
dash time was 4.83.
Yeah, that's what it is now. Just as slow. Honest to God, think about that. We're paying that guy. Oh my God.
His vertical jump was 29. Broad jump 905. Short shuttle 4.66. Three cone drill 7.42. So I think there are linemen who are faster than him at the cone drill. So
John Moe, Aaron Jones is not a bum. That's not nice. Anyways, Eckes is asking, what does bench press have to do with football? Hey, I got a couple videos if you want me to play them.
All right.
I'll show you what bench press has to do. But Bruce hasn't said anything. Bruce, you got anything to say? Because you haven't said the jack squat in a long time. I don't know if
he's taking in all this RAS score information and like
actually
blowing his mind.
Bring those players up again, Jason, with
Which
the RAS
ones?
scores.
Who do you want to see?
The drafts, the what the Packers have drafted. Yeah.
Packers?
Okay. Jeff Janis was high up there.
You want to see Jeff Janis? He was up there. Sure. All right.
Let's look at that again because it's interesting.
Jeff Query's also really high too.
Let's look at these high RAS scores.
Terrible.
Yeah. So Javon Walker, good 1 year. Mandridge sucked. Darkins, who the hell is he?
he wasn't terrible.
Yeah, Rashawn Gary, I mean, okay, he's okay maybe. Joey Thomas, no. Kevin King sucks. Jeff Janis, no. Antoine Edwards sucked. Brett Hundley's crap. Donnerson, no. Terrence Murphy, I got hurt right away. Kofi, no. St. Brown's crap. I mean, seriously, look at all this.
Ferguson.
He did good.
The first one that comes to mind is Chad Clifton. That's it. I mean, he's the first one out of what, 20 guys. So what does this tell you? It tells you the Packers are morons.
And Josh
drafting, RAS score. I mean, what the heck are they doing?
Your best players, Clay Matthews, is finally when you get a top awesome guy.
There's Burks right here. See,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, we have no starters in here but Clifton. I mean, really don't.
Hey, right here. This should be a starter.
Well, I understand.
See if you can find Hyde.
AJ
Hyde.
Micah,
yeah, okay.
He's probably got a low RAS score.
Boise 11's had a 9.4. You bet your buddy did.
There's a few in here, but my point is that RAS score is not any better than any other, piece that you're looking at as far as, bench press speed, all that type of stuff. The draft is not a science. I mean, there's some luck involved here, and obviously going off a RAS score doesn't make any sense to me necessarily. Yeah, athleticism is great, but it's obviously not any better than anything else. So why they're looking at RAS score, if this is what they're doing, which again, from what you're saying, Jason, it sounds like, we've got evidence that that's what they do, which again doesn't make any sense to me, because from what you're looking at on this list, it doesn't show anything is better when you're looking at athleticism compared to anything else. So
hey, Magic Man had a higher RAS score than Jordan Love. Magic Man.
Yep.
Look at him. Higher RAS score than Jordan Love, boy.
Hey, what's Aaron Rodgers' RAS score? That would be interesting.
He hadn't shown up yet.
Didn't show up yet. So, I don't know how to search on this thing. This is by
do a find.
Oh yeah, there we go. Check him out. All right, keep talking.
Put it Micah Hyde. Keep talking, Bruce. We're
go Micah Hyde. Yeah.
I'll go Micah Hyde next.
So anyway, I mean, that's very, very interesting to look at that list and not see anybody that has ever really remotely made a difference except for a few guys on there. So I don't know. To me,
Aaron Rodgers was 7.16.
See, there you go.
He's a pretty good football player.
Yeah.
So, and I certainly understand athleticism is important to a certain extent, but like you guys are saying, instincts is more important to me as well. Ultimately, they need to, especially at linebacker, for instance, as an example. I mean, you can be the highest athletic, guy in the draft, and if you don't have instincts and the ability to get in that hole, quickly and know if the running back's got the ball or the quarterback's got the ball, it doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter how athletic you are. So
just as you're saying it,
4.73. There you go.
4.73 Pro Bowl.
So
and a good football player and a good friend. Micah Hyde, love him.
He's not your friend, man.
You don't know that. He didn't say that.
I don't know. All right, here we go. We're gonna watch some videos.
All right, some videos.
This is Jason's guy, who the Packers could probably get maybe in the second round. Let's see.
Get
what
him.
happens.
He's gonna bulldoze people.
He's number 69 or something like that. He's circled right here.
77.
Oh, he's 77 right
77.
here.
good
Well, he's-
number, 69.
No, jeez. Louise.
That's why bench press matters, Ekis. Right there. How about this one?
Boom! Wow.
He finishes blocks, dude. And the other thing is, he's got speed. He ran a sub 540.
He just took down that guy.
He ran a sub 540. His agility and all that stuff too, and acceleration for a guy 320 pounds is incredible. That's why, even though he's a little raw with technique, especially with pass pro, I mean, and he's a finisher, man. He's got the mentality. He's a finisher.
I think
And
that's
he's just awesome.
That's more squats than it is bench press, I think.
No, I'm talking about the shove when he shoved it.
He did 33 on the bench though, and that was after having a broken hand. He played at the Senior Bowl with a broken hand. He broke his hand when he went down there, and that was his only shot to show anybody anything because they didn't have a season. And he's like, they were gonna say like, "Oh, do you want to go home?" And he's like, "No, can you just tape it up and let me play? Because I got to do this." So he looked a little rough on some of the pass drills, but he was doing that with a broken hand too. And once Bakhtiari gets a hold of him and shows him how to hold properly, he's going to be an awesome pass blocker. I'm telling you.
What I like is he's got enough speed. He comes out and he's almost a lead blocker, like a lead fullback on some of these plays, which I really like. It shows how quick he is and how athletic he is. He could slide from one side of the line of scrimmage, like right here. He goes up and like on that one, he just kind of sealed and pancaked the guy. But there's other times where he moves around and jumps up and he's like the lead blocker on some of these run plays.
Jeez.
He just pancakes, dude. So that's the kind of stuff that, I mean, and he does a really good job of sealing off the edge. Like he always moves his body to a side. Like I like that because that takes away the option for a defender to make a tackle. Like he only has the defender has one way to go, is to get around him this way. You know what I'm saying? Like if he holds a guy straight up and the running back has to make a choice one way or the other to go, the defender could guess right and tackle him. But if he turns his body sideways and shields him off because he's so huge, the running back has a clear lane of where to run, which I like. So I just thought you'd like that, Jace, little Miners video there.
Yeah, thanks for that. One other thing that's interesting, they showed some pictures of like drills at the Senior Bowl and stuff like that.
Oh, they did? Keep talking.
Well, anyway, so they showed some pictures, and the deal was if you looked at it across the line, he was lower than everybody else. Like his legs were bent to the point where he was in a much more powerful position. These other guys were standing more straight up and kind of relaxed when they were showing kind of side-by-side stuff.
Here he is, 71. He's all those one-on-one drills. He does pretty good in power. He gets beat a couple times at speed. But look at that. He's holding up pretty well there. Here he's playing center. He gets beat. He's got to reach and hold. There he beats the snot out of that guy. You got some dead air here.
He did a really good job of burying dudes and running.
That one was a little rough with that guy's speed move got him there. So he's got some issues with after the snap and then getting worried about a speed guy. But he's getting no help from the other guys. They're just standing there. You know what I mean? So this is really a one-on-one drill. Even though there is a guard there, he's not really supposed to help him.
And he hasn't played center. He didn't play center in college. He played guard. This was his first go at center.
So when you watch him here, when he's playing guard on a couple plays, so here he's 71. He kicks this guy's butt. Well, that one he kind of reaches, but he does a little rough against quick guys. But he's an interior lineman. Why would he be going up against quick guys? You know what I mean? Most of the time.
Not very often. And his base, look how wide his base is on that compared to
he's that guard again.
Remember how close Billy Turner's legs are together oftentimes? And that's why he doesn't have a strong base.
That's not
like this guy's got a good wide base, man. That's power. That's how you can hold up. And I like the fact that he's a little shorter. He's just a little over 6'2". You know, interior lineman, you don't need to be that tall. You get lower then. You got more power. You get more leverage. It just works well together. Plus, he was a wrestler in high school too,
Ah, that's good.
like Mikey D, who signed a contract extension with the Bengals. By the way, good for you, Mikey D. Wish you well, bud.
All
I
right.
like him. I like him. I think he'll be awesome in the run game. I think he can get polished up in the pass game. And if they want him to play center, he's willing to learn. He's been working on it on his own. And if you watch any of his videos and all that stuff, he rigged up with a recycling container and a pizza paddle for his long snapping. If you didn't see that stuff, that was pretty sweet.
I didn't see that.
MacGyver drills, he was doing on his own, man. Learned how to play center.
Sounds like he was Rocky training in Rocky 4, like moving
Yeah, he
fuel
was.
tanks, and it's a cool story. I can see him being a good fit in Green Bay with the Green Bay fans, everything else, but
Oh my
I
God.
just can't see them going too high for him. So
I've done a bunch of mock
Second
drafts,
round.
and I've gotten him in the second round with the Packers pick, and sometimes he's not there. He's gone already.
Mhm.
So the same thing with this guy, my guy.
Dickerson?
Yeah. He's sometimes there and he's sometimes not. And it all depends on whether people think he's healthy enough to play. You're not hearing any sound, are you?
No.
nope.
You just seeing video? Okay, because I'm hearing
But
sound.
don't-
It's annoying.
I mean, don't the Packers need Bruce? Don't the Packers need to draft a starting center or guard in this draft?
Honestly, I would say more of a right tackle myself. That's just my opinion.
Don't
I
you
think
think
they-
don't you think Runyon can play right tackle?
Yeah, possibly.
With
But
a
we don't know that yet.
With a full camp and all
Yeah,
that.
we don't know that yet though. I mean, we don't. He played well at guard, but do we know he can play right tackle in the NFL? No. Personally, I would draft a right tackle. That's what I would do.
Did you hear Ben's argument from previous weeks about getting like one of the top interior guys in the whole draft versus getting like a 6th or 7th best tackle who might be okay but might actually not be very good?
I understand that. I didn't watch the Ben, talk about that. I hadn't watched the show, by the way, but
That's right. You're in Jamaica. It's fine. You had
I
other
wasn't
stuff.
Jamaica, sorry.
That's okay.
But ultimately, I mean, I still think tackle is important, and I think the Packers are weak at tackle. I mean, they are. Besides Bakhtiari, they're weak at tackle. So
They have a terrible track record at drafting tackles early, though. Terrible, Bruce. It's not good. Do you want me to name some names?
no, I
Okay.
mean, I don't
All right.
disagree with you.
Okay.
But at the same time, what about?
Bakhtiari was a 4th round. Freaking.
Yeah, he was.
Taushi
Actually-
was a 7th round. Yeah,
Was it-
Clifton was a 2nd round guy, and he was pretty good. But I would argue that Tauscher was damn near as good as him, maybe even better at times. And he was a 7th round guy.
Yeah.
Like Brian Bulaga was a 1st round pick. Was he good? I don't know. He was serviceable. He was fine. Often injured, solid, I guess, when he was in there. But I was never blown away like he's 1st round pick kind of talent or kind of guy. And the other guys they've tried early, Spriggs, Sherrod, I mean, it's not good, man. I think Cole Van Lanen, mid rounds, give him a shot.
He's there in the 5th, sometimes 4th, 5th round, 6th round yet in a lot of mock drafts I'm doing. So he's available.
All they need is Bakhtiari coaching on how to hold as good as Bakhtiari, and they will be good. Telling you.
Just for sake of argument, right? I understand Ben's point, and it is a valid point that do you take the 6th best tackle? But the 6th best tackle isn't the same from year to year to year, right? I mean, who would be a tackle that might be available when they're there? Leatherwood. I mean, he could even slip into the second round based on some mock drafts I've been seeing.
Okay.
How does he compare to the sixth best tackle from 2 years ago or 5 years ago? Right. I mean, if you have a draft that's deep at a position, the fifth or sixth best guy might still be better than the third best guy next year. So I don't think that's always a rule that applies, especially if you've got a weak crop, like the defensive line isn't awesome in this draft.
Right.
So, how far do you reach for the top center if the second best center might still be there in the third round?
That's why I'm showing you two centers, Rick. I'm showing you two centers.
All right.
And this
I got a
guy's
question
good
about a
in
third
space.
center. When you're done with this, I got a question about a third center because I don't know anything about him.
Oh, there's a third center. He's probably good too. I don't even know.
I heard something about him.
But these two guys are big and nasty. They hit, they push, they move. They're good in space. They're quick. They recognize the guy they're supposed to block. They block that guy, unlike Billy Turner. And then they continue blocking that guy until he's either on the ground or completely out of the play.
That's what I like.
That's what these two guys do. That's why
Finishers.
I like them.
Put them next to Lukey Patrick and some Yankees. Our middle would be strong.
Yeah.
Oh, what about right tackle? What about right tackle?
Runyon.
Runyon Bunyan,
No,
baby.
I don't know. We don't know if Runyon's going to be that guy.
He can do it.
He can do it. He can do it more than Billy Turner can do it.
I feel better about our middle than I do our right tackle position. That's just my opinion.
Bruce, we don't have a center right now.
We don't have a
There's
center.
No center.
We have Jenkins and we have Patrick that can play center.
Can play center and being a center are two different things.
Exactly.
I think we'd be fine with those two.
That's called the bench press.
But Bruce, do you want to be fine, or do you want a chance at one of these guys who could be your starter for the next 10 years?
Here's an X factor.
I understand what you're saying, but do you want to protect your first round draft pick quarterback that you moved up for last year, or not?
No. Well, yeah, I want to protect him in the middle.
Do you want to protect?
He's supposed to be athletic enough.
Do you want to protect Love or not? Because that's who we're going to be protecting, right?
He's supposed to be athletic enough to move away from the guys coming on the outside. But if guys come up the middle, like, come on, look at it. Really, the biggest thing that rattles all quarterbacks and screws them is pressure up the middle. Ask Viking Mole, his middle, their offensive line has been terrible in the middle for way too long. That's why Kirk Cousins in some games looks terrible. Because he's not a terrible quarterback. Some games he looks terrible because they get pressure up the middle all the time. If you've got strong guys in the middle, center and guards, you're good. Your quarterback can evade that guy coming around the edge a lot of times.
I don't disagree with it. He can step up. I agree. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think we're okay in the middle right now. We're fine. We need a right tackle. Do you want Billy Turner at right tackle? Do you really want Billy Turner at right tackle?
I don't want Billy Turner anywhere on the field.
Exactly.
That's my point. None of us want Billy Turner at right tackle, but Billy Turner is going to be playing right tackle at least for another year and probably beyond that because
not if you draft a right tackle.
They just extended him to lower the cap to make that extended him, but they readjusted his contract so that he costs more on the cap next year. So they've got to keep him for next year too.
Well, then we can put Billy Turner as a backup and have him as depth.
They could have been doing that for the last 3 years, but they aren't. Wow. So we draft a tackle that doesn't play because they got Billy Turner.
I don't know
I'm in the camp. I would like to see him draft a tackle, but it doesn't pay to draft a tackle if they're not going to play him.
This guy had an ACL tear in December or November or January or whenever the hell it was. Now he's doing this. Is that guy athletic enough for you? Watch this walk right here. Oh, that's weird. But look at how big he is. Look at him. Does that guy look like he's hurting his ACL? Let's draft Landon Dickerson, for God's sake. He's awesome. We can put Jenkins at right tackle, and then we'll draft Miners, and we'll draft Dickerson.
Oh, my God.
We'll have Dickerson, Miners, and Lukey Patrick, and Jenkins at right tackle, and freaking Bakhtiari. Look at how big that dude is.
I don't disagree there. I think you could put Jenkins at right tackle, and I think I would rather have him at right tackle than Billy Turner. I can tell you that right now.
Look at this big goofball.
How do
If
you
that guy
win?
doesn't have Packer written all over him, I don't know what.
So does Miners. Like seriously,
I know.
if they went round one, I don't care if they even reach a little bit. I don't care. Because if you went round one and you got freaking Dickerson and then you got Miners in round two, I'd be over the moon.
No.
Because
You can't
this
do Dickerson in
offensive
round
line-
one. That's too much.
I don't care. A starter for 10 years who's an elite center, sign me up. Sign me up. Give me the best offensive line in the whole league, especially if you're turning this crap over to Jordan Love in a year or two or whatever. You're going to need some good offensive linemen to help that dude out because you're going to have to run the heck out of the ball. A.J. Dillon's legs are going to be sore and tired. Aaron Jones is going to be beat up because you're going to be running it down everybody's throats. You need dudes that are going to block so you can run it down everybody's throats. And not only that, you control the ball. You keep your defense, which still has some holes off the field. Give it to me. Give me the best offensive line in the game. I will take it. That helps you win games and maybe win it all. Because if you can control the ball and keep it away from the other team's offense, yeah, give it to me. Give me O-line, round one and round two. I'll take it.
Here's the thing. Bruce isn't wrong,
I know.
and we're not wrong either. The Packers need a center, and they also need a right tackle in some way. So, yes, to all things.
I mean,
Just get somebody good. I don't even care anymore who it is, as long as they don't suck, or at least they play a down or two, maybe. I don't know. Just something. Just something, please.
as long as they can get on the field, as long as they're players that can contribute, right? Like literally, as long as it's not a quarterback, running back, edge. No quarterback, running back, or edge. Otherwise, I'll take it pretty much.
Okay, so I got a question for you guys.
Go to
A
Bruce.
lot of people, especially Browner and Eckes, I've noticed the last couple of days, I've been sending out these things in our group chat talking about Tutu Atwell and all these other wide receivers in the first round. And I'm like, what do you think about wide receiver in the first round, Bruce? Is that something you want to have happen?
No, because I don't think by the time we pick, I don't think there's a wide receiver that's worth a first round pick. That's just my opinion. Maybe Kadarius Toney is going to be there, but I don't really like him. I think he's okay. The other guy is Terrence Marshall from LSU. He reminds me of MVS. I mean, he's fast, but he drops balls. He's I don't know if he's that great against a press coverage. Personally, if we were going to go with a receiver, I'd rather go second round, and I would take what the heck is his name? Moore. I'm talking about Mississippi State. He's like 5'11", 185, 190, something like that. Super fast. Can run routes well, or is it routes?
Routes.
And I mean, second round I'd be okay, but not first round. I don't think there's anybody that's worth first round. Even Rashad Bateman, I don't think he's worth first round. He's maybe early second round, but not first round. That's just my opinion.
His talent, he's Devontae Adams, but he's not as tall, and he's not as big, and he's not as shifty. So why would you draft that in the first round? I don't understand. No. I got something for you guys. I did some digging. I found some guys that are going to be available third, fourth, fifth round that are wide receivers that can help the Packers this season and or be good for later seasons and take up for spots of other guys. And these are the guys. There's three guys I've noticed. I've done some mock drafts lately, and I've looked at, and it shows you like where they've been drafted. Like the mock drafts have had them come off the board at different times, and three of the guys have been like skyrocketing up over the last month and a half, and two of the guys have been coming down. I'm going to say the two guys that have been coming down first. One of them is Jonathan Adams, who's 6'3", 220. He is not fast. Okay. but he's a good blocker. He's got good hands. He catches all the contested balls, and he's good at tracking the ball in the air. So who does that sound like? That's Alan Lazard with a little bit better hands or a little bit more athleticism, right? But Lazard's got 2 inches on him. So he might not even be as fast as Lazard. When Lazard gets going, he's got more speed. But that's a guy you can get him in like the 6th round because he's been dropping for reasons I don't know. But his hands are good, but he's slow. He's not fast. So that could be a problem. The other guy is this guy named Jalen Darden, and he's really small. He's like 5'9", 170 pounds. But when you watch the tape, it looks like Donald Driver out there, like a smaller, tinier Donald Driver. Like he just is shiftier than crap. Like he just jukes guys out of their shorts, makes them miss, all kinds of crazy stuff. But he's been falling down because when you look at what they did with him, and his numbers are off the charts too. He's got tons of touchdowns. He had like 18 touchdowns this year or something crazy like that. And he's got like a whole bunch over the last couple of years. He's got over 2,550 yards in his receiving in his career in college. The problem is he doesn't play in every down. There's sometimes some drives where he's not even on the field at all. He's a gadget guy because he's so small. He's a liability in blocking plays for the running game. So he's more of a, like, if he's in there, he's getting the ball kind of thing. So I don't know how good that would be with this particular team because they like to have everything look the same and then do different things with it. But he's a dynamic player who's proven, and he's done it, stats wise, as well as when you watch the tape, you see him just do crazy, crazy stuff, which is awesome. Then there's 2 guys that are kind of like almost the same type of guy. One is Marquez Stevenson. I don't know if we can handle 2 Marquezes on the team, but whatever. And the other guy is Anthony Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you, Anthony Schwartz. Both of these guys have inline speed. Like once they get going, it's like, see ya, gone. Like in crazy, crazy fast, gone. Anthony Schwartz is from Auburn, super fast. Good route runner. His problem is sometimes he double clutches the ball. He always catches with his hands, but sometimes he's got, Devontae Adams syndrome where he double clutches. Marquez Stevenson, fast. He's a return guy, does kick returns, not so much punt returns. He doesn't really run routes hardly at all. He's 6'1", 190, so he's not very tall, but he's faster than lightning once he gets going. So, and those 2 guys are kind of like the same type of guy, except Marquez Stevenson, a little bit better hands, and Schwartz, maybe a little bit better route runner. But basically, I'd say they're like 5th round picks, 4th round pick, somewhere in there. But they've been moving up and up on the draft boards that I've been seeing. So there's something going on where people are seeing more in them, probably because of their super speed. I don't know.
Are you looking at the Al Davis handbook for drafting receivers or what?
That's what somebody's doing, yes. And then I got one more guy. I actually have video of him. This is the guy that I've been sold on lately that I really, really like. I don't know. We'll see what you guys think about him. He is a guy who he was in college he played 5 years of college football. So he's a little bit older. His biggest problem is did I share this yet? No. He got hurt his 4th year, so his first senior year. But that year he actually played both ways at corner and wide receiver. He played at Western Michigan. He was their best corner and their best receiver. And then he got hurt 3 or 4 years into the season, so he couldn't play anymore. But he's got insane acceleration. Like when he gets going, like it takes him like 1 second. He's gone. He's also got super soft hands, makes all difficult catches. The problem is he's 5'9", but he's 190 pounds. So he's not like a scrawny 5'9". He's a solid 5'9". But he's just whatever. So we'll see. Watch this video of him. You'll see kind of what he's like. You'll see once he gets going. This is one where he just kind of outruns everybody at normal speed. But you'll see some other ones where he's really good at catching the ball, and then as soon as he turns around, he's gone. And that's something that I like. We don't have that guy. We need a shifty type. This would be our. And not only that, he also does kick returns and punt returns. His senior year, he did kick returns. So watch this one here. I like this. He's just like, he catches it, turns, and he's gone. Like, sorry, you're not catching this guy. He's too fast. He's got good acceleration. And then you could get him like 3rd round, late 3rd round. The Packers, this could be their 3rd round pick. He'd handle the punt return, kick returner, which we don't have, and be a slot receiver, right? So here's his. He had this year. He had a punt return, or kick return for a touchdown, or whatever this is. Kicks, punts. I don't know what the hell it is exactly, but. And then once he's in open field, see ya. I mean, bye. You're not touching this guy. Super speed, right? And the other thing that's important, that's interesting, is he was a running back in high school. So he's a running back in high school. He played corner last year for 3-4 games, so he understands that part of the game. Here's a great catch where the guy's right on him, one-handed grab, looking for the ball. So he's got good vision, can see it, contested catch. Doesn't have to worry about that. You know, MVS can't do that. I mean, look at that. That's concentration, hands, all that kind of stuff. Here's another one. Watch this. These guys are like, oh, crap. He got caught, but that guy had the angle on him. But, I mean, when you're talking a guy you can get in the third round, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? And he's not a gadget guy. He's the guy who's part of the offense. You've seen him catch balls downfield. You've seen him line up at wide out. You've seen him line up in the slot. You've seen him do all kinds of stuff. So this is the guy I'm looking for. Dwayne Eskridge. Probably you could get him in late third round, possibly, maybe if we're lucky, we get him in fourth round, probably not. But that's my guy at wide receiver. What, Rick? You're not saying we're not going to get in the fourth round? He's not going to fall that far.
I've seen him listed mid-second round. He's
Mid-second round?
9, 10, 11 for receivers.
We're never going to
I
get
don't see him slipping.
So I have a question for Bruce. Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. Finish up.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think if they could get him, that'd be fantastic. I mean, if he can bring some speed and actually make the return game a threat, that would be fantastic, right? I mean, the receiver, even if it's just a return game, if he doesn't make an impact as a receiver, that could be huge. So anyway, go ahead, Bruce.
Well, the other thing I want to ask Bruce is based on the fact that there is going to be a huge turnover at the pass catcher position, wide receivers, namely Bruce, and the Packers decided in the deepest wide receiver draft last year to not draft a single one. Do they need to at least draft one wide receiver in this draft?
Yes.
Okay.
They got nobody signed past this year.
Yeah.
No,
I honestly, I hope they don't go receiver in the first round, but because I just don't think there's anybody that's going to be available and worth it in the first round. But I'd be okay with second round, and then I personally would draft a couple if they could. I would draft a couple, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they drafted a receiver in the first round and it's somebody that, is like second or third round possibility because of his RAS score.
Oh, RAS score. I want to bring it up.
I mean, seriously, I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't.
Jamo says, Bruce, I don't know if you know these names, but Jamo says Elijah Moore and Rondale Moore could be really good receivers you could pick up, not in the first round, second round, a little later. And then also
Lee is still saying that he thinks Bateman is a first round pick, and he is a first round pick. I agree. I just don't think the Packers should draft him in the first round.
I think Elijah Moore is a second round pick, and he's got 4.35 speed, and he's also a special teamer as well. He's very similar who you were talking about, Ben.
That's good, yeah.
5'9", 178. He's a little lighter.
Smaller, yeah.
But 4.35 speed and has the ability to return. So he's another option, in that. I think he's a second rounder though, but maybe he'll slip to the third just because of his size. I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, but see, like the Packers' third round pick is almost a fourth round pick, so it's like slipping to the third is still not going to help us unless we could somehow trade up. I mean, I did a bunch of mock drafts today where I actually drafted back. I traded back out of 29 almost every time if I could, if somebody offered me something. And I got more picks, and that way I felt better about drafting because I almost always drafted either Miners or Dickerson almost every time because I'm just crazy like that. But then I got a whole bunch of more picks, and I was able to get I don't remember what his linebacker from Missouri. That he's solid. He's not fast, but he's a good tackler.
Bolton, and then, is that his name? Bolton.
Bolton, yeah.
Small.
Bolton. Yeah, but it's like, dude, when you watch the tape on him, he's almost like watching this tape on Usakora Moa guy, whatever his name is. It's similar. He just doesn't have the speed, but he's like he's a beeline into the play. He reads it. He breaks passes up. Good tackler. So he's smaller, but who cares? Sam Mills was small. He's one of the best freaking middle linebackers of all time. So I don't care how big you are, as long as you know what you're doing, you can tackle and you make plays and you go for the ball. I mean, that's the thing. Is like the Packers spent too much time worried about athletic. What do you think Sam Mills' athletic our RAS score was? Probably like a 3.2 because he was 5'9" or whatever playing middle linebacker. Well, who gives a crap if you're out there making plays all over the place? And you're like a pro for 12, 13 years, a leader of the team. Sam Mills was awesome. I remember that dude. He was killer.
Is that Bolton guy? His first name is Mike, right? Lee says
Nick or something.
Nico.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a joke.
Nico Bolton.
It was a joke. Bringing it back.
Oh, you thought it was Michael Bolton. Oh,
anyway,
sit on the dock of the bay. Bolton.
I watched Office Space recently, so it brought me back to that. The one guy I was so mad hated Michael Bolton, said how much of a piece of crap he was. Anyway, Lee also says check out Austin Watkins for a mid to late round steal potentially.
I haven't checked him out yet. I've seen his name a bunch.
I don't know him either.
What about corners? Are there any corners that we could steal in the late rounds? Does anybody know?
Eric Stokes. I want Eric Stokes.
Eric Stokes. I've been seeing Trill Williams or something as a guy. A lot of people seem to like. He's got size and maybe. And then Benjamin St. Juste from Minnesota.
Are they good enough to pass on corner in the first round and not move around and try to get, a good corner in the first?
But they're good enough to play instead of Kevin King. Because that's all I'm looking for.
I mean, like I had previously said on the show, I think anyone currently playing in college that's entering the NFL draft would do just as well as Kevin King. I don't care if it's Division 1, 2, or 3 school. I know Bernard argues with me on that. But I really don't. I wouldn't notice the difference.
Eckes.
Other than the guy might be better than Kevin King.
Eckes wants to know my RAS score.
Oh, what's your
I think I would officially be the only player to have a negative RAS score. I think I'd be a negative 1.7. Come on. I'd be close to a 0, but I'd still be a negative.
All right. You know why?
My bench reps would be 0. My 40-yard dash would be like 6.9. What else? My shuttle score would be good. My shuttle would be good.
Pretty shifty. Yeah, that's true.
I cannot jump. I have no lateral quickness. Well, I got lateral quickness.
Lateral, just not.
So, yeah, my cone drill and my shuttle score would be good, but the rest of it would be stinky. All right, you know what? I would have probably a positive. I'd be like a 1.2 RAS score.
It's almost as good as Zedarius.
Yeah. Hey, I'm half as good as Zedarius. That's my RAS score.
I have a little bit here. I really feel this is the year it's going to happen. The Packers are going to draft Quinn Miners. Might be second round. I think they need to be active. They got to be active on the board and move around for stuff for players they want and need. But I'm going to show you a couple of reasons why Quinn Miners. Okay. First off, is this video right here. I got to share it up.
You got it? You have the Rocky video?
I don't know if it's in this part, but it does show something you can do here real quick. That he's only a little over 6'2". All right. There he is on the football field. He's going to destroy whoever. Yeah, he's going to destroy D3 guy. Jesus. But this is on a basketball court.
Oh, and he dunks?
And he dunks. And he's flat-footed. And he dunks. Not with a run-up. All right?
That's pretty
he's
good.
Athletic as heck. And he's 320 pounds. Plus his nickname's the Gut. Plus he's good for morale because he's got a great attitude. He'd be a super good guy. But this right here, can you see it? Can you see the RAS score? Or are you not seeing what I'm showing?
Yeah, I see it. 9.98.
He reminds me of Tony Mandridge with 77. Come on.
The only don't discredit him like that. The only thing that's not good for him is his height. But everything else, everything else, he is elite. Except for shuttle, he was good. Elite weight, elite bench, elite vertical, elite broad, elite 3-cone. Look at his 4.99. I think personal clocker had him at like a 4.96, but 4.99, 40-yard dash at 320 pounds. If I was 320 pounds, you know my 40-yard dash would be about 10.
Mine too.
Jeez,
I wouldn't even make it 40 yards. It'd be 0.
Plus, he is a finisher. How many times do we have to see Packers offensive linemen who just kind of block for a little bit and then are like, all right, I'm done? No, I want more guys that finish the play because that is how big plays happen. That is how big plays for running backs and for your quarterback and your receivers happen, is guys extending the block, blocking, making sure that dude is not going to get back into play to make the tackle. I'm sick of seeing guys who engage for a second and then let them go. So I want Quinn Miners.
Good argument.
9.98 RAS score. Packers are going to draft him. It's already booked, you guys. 9.98 RAS score. They can't help themselves.
It's true. If he's there in the second round, they ain't gonna draft him in the first round.
You know who has a better RAS score than him?
Tony.
No, Samuel Cosme of Texas offensive tackle.
Oh, offensive tackle. Is he going to be there for the Packers to take?
I don't know.
You know who has the better is Yash Nyman, who's got the best RAS score of all time.
Good RAS. Good RAS. You guys, I'm telling you, the Packers over the last 2 decades, time and time again, they'll draft these dudes with the good athletic scores, and the guys that don't have good athletic scores are like, nah. It's just a good. The one thing I'll say about this is a good thing for the 4 of us that nobody judged us on our athletic scores. They made decisions on whether they give us a chance, because maybe Rick, maybe for a while Rick, but
Rick's got some calves.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know what kind of athlete you were in high school, Bruce, but whatever.
Bruce was good. He was a Don
That's
Mikowski quarterback, he said.
That's right.
Who loved Johnny Holland for some
That's
reason.
right. Hey, there's a Holland guy the Packers could draft, and if they get him at 50, your Johnny Holland jersey is relevant again, just like that. They put him at number 50. Could happen, Bruce. Isn't he a safety, right? Javon Holland, he could be a dynamic safety.
Tom Grassi wants them to draft him in the first round and switch him to the corner. And I'm like, he's like the second round pick, maybe. I don't know what Tom Grassi is talking about.
There was, I think Herman talked about that too, about maybe drafting a safety like that then would allow more freedom for like Savage to have Amos, Savage, and him on the field and do, different things between that star position or playing the slot guy. You eliminate Sullivan, but you have 3 safeties instead of the 3 corners on the field, that it could be a possibility. So it's possible. I mean, you get a dynamic safety. Again, guys in the middle of the field that are fast and dynamic, those are impact guys on defense for sure.
Yeah. Bruce was going to say something about his athletic ability, and then he cut him off.
Sorry.
Actually, no, I was going to say I want to draft Kwity Paye just because I like his name.
Okay.
Well, he'll be sitting on the bench.
The Packers will still probably go with Rascore, Bruce, but you can go with name.
The best name though, the best name in the draft is a safety by the name of Divine Diablo.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah,
nice.
The Heavenly Devil.
Nobody's got a better nickname than the Gut, though. So give me the Gut. Please.
He's lost his gut though. He looks like he's in better shape.
I know, but he's still the Gut.
Goody might not want that, because Goody and Gut, they're pretty similar. There might be some mistaken identities.
Oh man, seriously, I can't. I'm worried if the Packers don't get 2 offensive linemen that can challenge what they currently have. I'm concerned. They might
have to bring Rick Wagner back,
or Jared.
I think he signed with Texas.
Jared Valdir here.
Oh.
Everybody else did. Lane Taylor did. God dang it. We could have signed him back for nothing. They let him go.
We give a shout out for Lane Taylor. He had a nice send off to the Packer faithful too. He wrote a nice letter and thanked everybody. Put it on Twitter. We shared it on Hafeman Bros Twitter, Ben. I know we're not that big yet, but we did that at least.
I should probably
the media department took care of it.
That's Jason. I do the graphics. I'm the graphics department.
I see that. Now that you got the new computer,
is that annoying yet? It's been going every 5 seconds. It keeps disappearing. I didn't know I was going to do that. I thought it was just going to be regular, like a regular picture, and then I got it done. And I'm like, oh, it's an actual video that keeps doing that.
It's like breaking news.
But it draws attention to it. Yeah, hey, Hafeman Bros.
The annoying part fits your personality, so we're good. Bruce, no,
I don't care.
Bruce, welcome back to the States. from
Yes.
Jamaica land. Did you so you got anything from your trip? Like what made you want to stay there? What was it just not working or the weather or what?
85 and sunny every day all year long. I mean, come on,
Okay.
blue water, cocktails, jerk chicken. I mean, can't beat that, right?
Okay. And no work.
Jerking the chicken.
Jerking
What?
the chicken, yeah, yeah, all week long.
What kind of
jerking the
Jamaican
chicken.
resort was this, Bruce?
It was
All
not.
One
inclusive.
that Robert Kraft goes
It,
to?
it was not hedonism. It was not hedonism too. But yeah, there's some weird stuff that goes on there.
Did you run into any Jamaican guys singing about voodoo?
No.
Well, you need to check out Voodoo Arrangement by the Innocent Men. That was a great one. Adam Sandler
classic.
song, Voodoo. You can look it up online anytime. You too, I'm sure.
That's
Adam
true.
Sandler, Voodoo. It's a
The
great song.
Innocent Men sang that?
Yeah, I arranged it.
When
It was
Ben and I
Jason's
were
idea.
there, we did.
I don't
It
remember
was
that.
Mom's idea. It wasn't my idea.
I
It was
Mom
Mom's
loved
idea?
all the songs. Yeah, she told you got to do some of these Adam Sandler songs, not the ones where he swears in them, but the other
Yeah,
ones.
that narrowed it down to one. Voodoo. I don't know.
Bruce, if you'd only stayed in Minnesota, you could have got tan like Rick. But anyway, you're back.
I
in
know,
Congratulations.
right?
Rick,
Jeez.
you were looking, dude. What are you gonna do when the summer hits?
I don't know.
Gotta get
Sunscreen.
Gotta get some block, some full-on block
He's
over there.
riding his bicycle to work or whatever.
It probably helps that I'm wearing an orange shirt and I'm in front of a white wall, so it makes me look,
You look good,
darker in
man.
comparison.
You look good. Rick, any updates on the microscopic worms before we go?
No, not really.
All right. Okay.
I got an update. My son officially is going to U of M, Rick, so you got to get him a job.
Woo!
Oh,
Congrats.
Let me know when you come to visit campus or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't really
I
tell
could-
me anything.
I could introduce him to the Packers' new receiver, Rashad Bateman.
No. Come on. I don't care. I actually won't be that upset. As long as it's somebody that can play, I don't care. I kind of care, but I'll be okay.
Hey, before we go, right when we go, when you say your last final words, I got to show a video that's about 10 seconds long, and then you can hit the goodbye button. So just let me know when it's time to go.
All right. I'm done talking.
All right. Well, here we go.
Anybody else?
Oh, we got to talk about
What else?
what are we doing with the draft show?
Oh crap! We didn't even talk about that. Yeah, draft show. Hey, we'll be back. Draft show Thursday night with a bunch of you, and then the Packers will trade out of the first round, and we'll be all just wasted our time. But that's fine.
it's my birthday.
Is
What?
it really?
Thursday, yeah.
Nice. Do you want to spend some time? You don't have to spend the whole time with us if you don't want to. But if you want to pop on for a little bit, that'd be
We're
cool.
not doing anything for my birthday. Nah.
How old
I know how
are
that
you?
goes.
Are you? You
I
reaching a
am-
milestone?
I am 27.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Add 20 years to that. I'm 47 now.
47. Man, you
Mhm.
look a day over 35, my friend. Nice work.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Dang.
Nice. All right. Well,
But
we
then you
just
should-
gonna. What time are we going live? We're gonna go live at 7:00 and be alive for
we-
4 hours.
Oh, we do have an announcement. Confirmed. I had to guilt text him again because he didn't respond to my initial text. But Viking Mo did respond after my guilt, my Catholic-inspired guilt text. That he did respond that he will be on our show prior to the Vikings pick to give some thoughts. And then he usually watches the draft with his brother, who swears like a sailor. So we will give him time to swear like a sailor with his brother, not on our show. And then he's going to come back after the Vikings make their selection to give us their thoughts, non-swearing thoughts at that point. And then we'll hang on until the Packers trade out. And then we'll be like, okay, we'll catch you tomorrow.
Unless they trade up.
Unless they trade up. If there's activity and they trade up, we're ready for it.
You
We'll
guys,
jump on.
you're really missing the key analyst here. Your dad was the one who called the pick last year. Surely you'd be
Oh,
getting his
God,
insight
I know.
this year.
That's right. Dad, are the Packers going to trade up? Do we have to be on at 7:00 or what? Tell us. All right, we're going to go by what Dad says. Otherwise, if the things are kind of looking normal, we'll jump on after, say, the first 10 picks or so. Just because I don't think the Packers are getting in the top 10, but there's a chance they might jump into the teens. So we'll get on early enough to get into the teens. whatever the time that is. If you're watching the draft, you're into this stuff, you'll know what time it is. Then just hop on by us and we'll react to what's happening. And then we'll react to what the Packers do. Hopefully in a good way this year. Not the way we reacted last year.
Hopefully.
And then the plan is Friday we'll come back for, rounds 2 and 3 and all that. And then we're not going to hang on all day Saturday or all that stuff. We'll come back Sunday and do kind of a recap of the Saturday and then the full draft. And so it'll be kind of like a crazy draft weekend for us. Not as crazy as some other people who go live the whole time. But you get our opinions and thoughts because it's really Hafeman Bros opinion. Packer opinions. That's the name of what we do now, I guess.
Yep, I changed it. That's the
Good
way
job,
we're doing
man.
All right,
I kind of like the old acronym though with the HBTP because there's TP in it.
That was part of my plan. I mean, I know a lot of the things I do are just by chance, but that was slightly intentional. I probably should have worked in, if I could have had to be PP at the end, that would have been, number 1 for me, or number 2. Actually, number 1 because it PP. But anyway, TP worked for my number 2 theme that I often go with, as you understand. Is that a solid ending to this show?
Here we go. Here's the solid ending. Oh, yeah. Landon Dickerson. That's the guy. That's the guy we want. Wee! Wee! Wee!
That's sped up. Come on, that's sped up.
Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Okay.
Nice. That's impressive. I tried doing a cartwheel a couple years ago and it hurt my shoulders like crap. Plus, Sophia laughed at me really hard. And he weighs a lot more than I do. Impressive. You know what else is impressive? A 9.98 RAS score and dunking a basketball flat-footed when you're 6'2".
I'm going to keep playing this until you end the show. So
I'm trying to end the show. Turn it
then
off.
end it. Just end it.
Oh, with this stuff? All right. Well, I thought it ended with us. I will have one last announcement. I'll have a surprise for Thursday night that I'm super excited about. So tune in for that too. When we come on, there'll be a Jason surprise. All right, Landon Dickerson, Cartwheels. Thanks to Rick. Thanks to Bruce. Sorry if we didn't let you guys talk enough tonight. I don't know what was going on. But we had a lot to say. Packers are drafting. Hopefully they get it right this year and they can make a push. All right, stay well, everybody. Be safe. Catch you next time. Bye.